What's up, movie fans? I'm the master of movies, Clay from the Hills Maniacs, and today I'm going to talk about the top 10 movie characters that could not survive the zombie apocalypse. Now, if you watched my last video I did, I talked about the top 10 characters that I think could survive the zombie apocalypse. And so this week I'm doing 10 that can't. And again, the same rules will apply as in that video, so I'm not doing anybody that has any sort of like magical ability, such as like the Force from Star Wars or any superheroes, because I think that would be like an unfair advantage. Like obviously, like Thor could survive the zombie apocalypse most likely. So I'm not counting any of them or anybody that has any type of like magic. So no Harry Potter characters unless they're non-magic characters from Harry Potter, or Star Wars or the MCU or anything like that. I start with the person I think would survive the least amount of time and go to the person that probably could survive but would probably end up dead right away anyways. And the first person I want to talk about is Donald Gennaro, from Jurassic Park. If you don't know who that is, he was the scumbag lawyer who basically was making sure that the park was functional and nothing bad happened. Obviously, he didn't do a very good job of that. And then when the T Rex breaks out of its paddock, he flees and leaves the kids in the car by themselves, and he ends up getting eaten while sitting on a toilet. And it's one of the funniest scenes ever. But he is a scumbag, and based off of what we saw in Jurassic Park, and the scumbaggery of Donald Gennaro in that movie, I think he would be one of the first people to go in the zombie apocalypse. At least I would hope so, because I would not want him surviving alongside me, because he would not help me in any way. Number 9, I have Alfred. I forget what his last name is. It's the one from the Hobbit franchise, not Alfred from Batman. He would probably survive. But Alfred from the Hobbit movies, I forget what his last name was. And I picked him because, again, just kind of like Donald Gennaro from Jurassic Park, he's basically just that character. All he's going to do is run and hide, and it's not a good quality and somebody that you want on your team if you're trying to survive the zombie apocalypse, because he's not going to help you in any way. And he's obviously a coward and a scumbag, just like Donald Gennaro. So two of the greatest movie franchises both have the same sort of scumbaggery in their franchise somewhere. So number 8, going down the list, I have Shaggy from Scooby Doo. Just because, and yes, Scooby Doo is a movie. Just because I really think that he would. I mean, you could really say any of them, because they really don't do much in the thing. But Shaggy is kind of the silliest of all of them, and would probably survive less amount of time than the rest of them, because he would just be like screwing around and just doing whatever. And so that's why he made the list. Now, number 7, we're going back to Jurassic Park, as I have Denis Nedry, the man responsible for all the faults of Jurassic Park in that movie. And the reason is, you look at what he did. Yes, he's a tech genius, basically, in a way. Like, he designed all the security and everything for the park. But at the same time, you look at what he did. He turned his back on John Hammond. He stole the embryos, and then when it came down to surviving in the wild by himself, because he got lost, he had no clue what he was doing. He didn't know what the dinosaur was that he met. He was like teasing it and all this stuff, and I think that's why he would probably, hopefully, die right away. Because I don't think he has good survival skills in near-death situations. At number 6, I have President Snow from the Hunger Games. And again, you look at what he did in the Hunger Games. He didn't really do anything. He never, they obviously, the Hunger Games is one of those things where other people are putting their lives at risk for the sake of this game, or whatever you want to call it. And President Snow is responsible for all of this, but he doesn't do anything. He didn't create the thing, create the arena that they're in. Um, he just hired the people to do it, and he spared no expense when it came to creating this game and putting other people's lives at risk, and basically getting people killed just for the sake of control in a way. So I think he probably just sacrificed everybody before he was willing to sacrifice himself, and so that's not a very good quality that you want in somebody if you're trying to survive. So I think he would be gone pretty darn quickly in the zombie apocalypse. Number 5, we'll stay with the Hunger Games and we'll go to Caesar Flickerman, the basically the announcer commentator guy who again did nothing in the movie. He was basically just there like as one of the people that lived there, and he was just like a newscaster. I don't think he would be able to really survive anything because he doesn't seem like he knows any survival skills. I mean, yeah, he kind of talks with the people that are competing in the Hunger Games and tries to get to know how they're going to survive and stuff like that. But I don't think he could actually do it when it came down to it. So he's number 5 on this list. Number 4, I have Lord Denethor from the Lord of the Rings. At least in the movie, he was pretty much just a scumbag. I mean, he was the father of Boromir and Faramir, and Boromir died, Faramir didn't, and he didn't like Faramir because he didn't die. Like that's how big of a scumbag he was. When the armies of Sauron started attacking his home, he runs and hides in his castle instead of choosing to fight like everybody else. And so I think he would just do that again. If the zombies were coming after him, I think he would just run and hide somewhere, and not help in any way, shape, or form. Number 3, I have, and we're going animated here. I had Mother Gothel from Tangled, and the reason I put her here is because she just like she's one. Yes, she's the villain, but she's basically a Disney villain that had no powers whatsoever. All she really did was kidnap Rapunzel, and that was what made her a villain. I mean, really, all she did in the movie was just basically make Rapunzel think that she was right and that she knew what she was talking about, just to keep her trapped there because it was the power in Rapunzel's hair that gave her her ability to live a long time, I guess, is how that worked. And so all she did was just keep Rapunzel in the tower and nothing else. She never really went outside. She never let Rapunzel go outside. And she really didn't help Rapunzel at all, which was the point of her being a villain. And again, if you're in a situation and you need somebody to help you, she's not going to be the one to do it. So I don't think she would be able to survive at all, because if she has to have this power to from Rapunzel to live forever, then really she's useless and she can't do anything. I have Sheriff or Deputy Dewey from the Scream movies. Now, I know he does end up surviving a lot of stuff in the Scream movies. I mean, he gets shot and stabbed and all kinds of stuff and still manages to survive these movies, and that's a whole nother topic to discuss. But I think in a zombie apocalypse where there's a horde of zombies rather than just one killer, um, I don't think he would be able to really do much because he's kind of that clumsy, um, you know, not very reliable police officer when it comes to being a police officer. Now, as a brother or a friend in the movies, he's better at doing that than he is at actually being a cop. And so I just yeah, he's a cop, and yes, he does survive and scream, but I personally just think that he would probably get killed. He might survive a little bit, but probably not. I would say maybe even sacrifice himself to kill some of the zombies, but I don't think he would be able to last very long in the zombie apocalypse. And my number one, the person I hope would die right away, but would probably survive, um, even though he probably shouldn't, is Jar Jar Binks. And I know I said nobody from Star Wars, but because he really doesn't have any powers, unless you consider Darth Jar Jar to be a thing, um, and yes, he's an alien, so why would he be on Earth when there's a zombie apocalypse? But anyways, um, Jar Jar Binks, we all know that he would somehow find a way to survive the zombie apocalypse. No matter what, he would somehow just miraculously survive. But I put him on here because I really, really would want him to die like immediately, and just kind of, just be gone. But unfortunately, he's still here. Um, Jar Jar Binks is number one because he would probably end up surviving the entire thing. So he probably should have been on the other list, but he made this one. So, anyways, guys, there you go. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had really fun thinking of these characters and trying to come up with reasons as to why they would probably not survive. Go check out my other video on the 10 characters that could survive the zombie apocalypse that I uploaded a few weeks ago. And stay tuned for what else we got going on this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Subscribe.